The Heart of Asia conference is underway in Tajikistan. The summit brings together Afghanistan neighbors and other regional powers. Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that at the conference that India remained committed to the development of Afghanistan in order to make the country self-sufficient. Also said that India will continue to work towards improving Afghanistan's connectivity. Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi were also seen on the same platform for the first time since 2019 during their photo op session. Meanwhile, Tajikistan President says that the last 4 decades has shown that there is no military solution to the bloodshed in Afghanistan. Joining us on this broadcast now is India's former ambassador to Afghanistan, Vivek Katju. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. We'll discuss what is a way forward as far as the peace process in Afghanistan is concerned. But let's just focus on India and Pakistan here. We saw External Affairs Ministers of India and Pakistan come together on the same platform since 2019. No talks have been scheduled, but do you think the environment is right for talks between India and Pakistan?
Well, the initial moves of beginning an engagement have been made by both countries. And that is clearly evident from all that has happened after the announcement by the DGMO that the 2003 ceasefire would be reinstated. Now, the meeting of the foreign ministers is a quantum jump in that engagement, because it will be very, very closely watched. It will not be an ordinary meeting on the sidelines of an international conference, and such ordinary meetings are routine meetings. But between India and Pakistan at this stage, it can't be routine. I think as far as India is concerned, the fact is that the government and the ruling party is engaged in a very contested election in some of the states, and they would be very wary of taking any risks of any incident of an Indo-Pak nature that might disturb this election process and their prospects. So that would certainly be weighing in the mind of the Indian authorities and of Mr. Jaishankar. So it really remains to be seen if they can overcome this particular factor and go in for the meeting. As far as Pakistan is concerned, I think within Pakistan too there is a divide. And Qureshi seems to be on the harder side of the divide. And they want something to show that they've achieved through the stand that they've taken after August 5, 2019, before they have such a bilateral engagement. So there are problems on both sides, and in such situations, it's very difficult to make a prediction. One can analyze the factors, but making a prediction is difficult. I think if I was a betting man, I would put my bet on no meeting, except perhaps a rapid exchange of views, but certainly no structured meeting at this stage. But I may well be wrong.
It remains to be seen, Ambassador, if there is a pull aside and if there are talks between the foreign ministers of India and Pakistan. But let's focus on the role that Afghanistan's neighbors are playing in a possible peace process in Afghanistan. Let's just remind our viewers of the situation on the ground. Now, since the peace talks started in Afghanistan, between Afghanistan government and the Taliban, in the 3 months that followed since the peace talks began, it saw a drastic increase in violence against civilians in Afghanistan since the beginning of the peace talks. So, Ambassador, what's the way forward? Because Afghanistan government or the government in Kabul wants a continuation of the democratic process. The Taliban does not recognize democracy. They do not recognize the government in Kabul. So what's the way forward?
Well, let's look at the situation on the ground, as you've said. The fact is that the Taliban's biggest card is violence, is their capacity to inflict violence. And while ceasefire is always desirable, it is difficult to see how one party in a negotiation will give up its main card without any tangible result. The second fact is that the Taliban is entrenched, and since the Americans have given every indication that they want to leave, whether they will adhere to the 1st of May deadline or not, they desperately want to leave. They don't want to leave a mess behind, but they wish to leave. And as far as the Taliban is concerned, I reckon that they feel that they have the time, because the ultimate fact in Afghanistan is that no one is willing to put in more troops on the ground in Afghanistan. And given that, I find it difficult to see how one can strengthen the Kabul authority or the Kabul forces in this situation. And unless that is done, the advantage lies with the Taliban.
So I think many leaders in this conference have said, and what the past 2 decades have shown us, is there is no military solution to the problem in Afghanistan, isn't it?
No, but that's a good platitude. There is no military solution. Yes, if the Taliban think that they wish through military means to re-establish the emirate, they are wrong. The world has made it quite clear that they cannot go back to the 1990s and the regime that was, and its principles and rules that existed in 1990s cannot be re-established. So,
Absolutely, sir. So the world agrees that Taliban must give up violence for there to be any lasting peace in Afghanistan. They must sit and talk with the authorities in Kabul and try and find a solution. Now, Afghanistan's neighbors and regional powers can only help, but for the Taliban to give up violence, it's the Pakistan ISI that must stop its support to the Taliban. Has the ISI done it? I'll just remind our viewers what Human Rights Watch said about Pakistan's ISI and the role it played in Afghanistan and the support to Taliban in 2001 at the height of the war against terror. Human Rights Watch says close to 30 trucks a day were crossing Pakistan border. Sources inside Afghanistan reported that some of these convoys were carrying artillery shells, tank rounds and rocket-propelled grenades. Such deliveries were in direct violation of UN sanctions. Pakistani landmines were found in Afghanistan, and they included both anti-personnel and anti-vehicle mines. Pakistan's Army and Intelligence Service, ISI, contribute to making Taliban a highly effective military force. Now, Taliban continues to have a large presence in Afghanistan despite being ousted from power years ago. So, has the Pakistani ISI stopped its support to the Taliban?
Certainly not. And I don't see that happening. So the fact, look, the Pakistanis will, whatever they may say, continue their support to the Taliban. The Taliban are, as I mentioned, are committed to violence unless they achieve their objective. Now, these are ground realities. The world may want clearly that this should not happen. But the question is, what can the world do and what is the world willing to do to end this? The Americans at one stage had more than 110,000 troops. And were they able to achieve this desire? Were they able to finish the Taliban? No. So there are certain realities that are staring us in the face. Of course, it is desirable to have peace in Afghanistan. Of course, as the External Affairs Minister said, the interests of the countries around Afghanistan and the interests of the parties in Afghanistan should be harmonized. And of course, ultimately, only negotiated settlements can achieve results. But the problem in diplomacy is always how do you go from the present situation to the desired result? And that path is not very clear, because at the moment, the Taliban have more cards than the Kabul authorities. This, to my mind, is a reality. And this stares us in the face. So, while the objectives of the Heart of Asia conference are laudable, And India's position on principles is absolutely right. There can be no quarrel with that. But we must never overlook the realities of a situation.
Right, sir. So one final question to you. We are running out of time on this segment, but one final question. Now, America has drastically reduced its troop presence in Afghanistan. That means that Afghanistan's neighbors, including India, will have to play a greater role in the development of Afghanistan. What role do you see India playing in the future?
I see, first of all, that India would continue to be a development partner of Afghanistan. And second, that India will continue to harmonize its interests with the Afghans, with Afghan parties. But in order for India to play these roles effectively, and in order for India to be an effective voice in Afghanistan, even as India continues to support the Afghan government, the present Afghan government, it must open direct links with the Taliban. The External Affairs Minister has said that they are supportive, that he is supportive of the intra-Afghan talks between the Taliban and the other parties. I think as a consequence of that supportive situation, India must open direct talks with the Taliban.
Ambassador Kajju, thank you so much for joining us on WION and giving us your time.
Thank you.
WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik is in Tajikistan and he's tracking all the developments at the conference. Anas Malik brings us this latest ground report.
Well, I'm standing inside the hall where the meeting of the foreign ministers of the Heart of Asia is currently ongoing. The Afghan foreign minister has spoken, the Indian external affairs minister has spoken, the Iranian foreign minister has spoken, and so has the Pakistani foreign minister. The Indian foreign minister in his speech has emphasized that India would continue with its developmental role in Afghanistan and that it supports peace processes. Additionally, they've also cleared out that India would despise the fact that foreign fighters are present in Afghanistan and that they should be cut down immediately, and then the fact that there should be an immediate reduction in violence. On the other hand, the Pakistani foreign minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, while speaking on the occasion, has hinted and has said that the role of spoilers within Afghanistan and outside Afghanistan should be discouraged and that Pakistan will continue to facilitate all peace processes. The Afghan president has emphasized the need for a reduction in violence and the fact that all parties should come together for a comprehensive ceasefire and to put down pressure so that Afghanistan and the people of Afghanistan would not suffer. As we speak, the session is currently ongoing and different foreign ministers of different countries are speaking turn by turn, 3 minutes each. Anas Malik in Dushanbe, Tajikistan for WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.